Hello, human beings and lizard people. This is Miss Knappenberger, and I'm going to talk about commas. Commas are super wonderful and useful because they allow you to combine different elements into a longer, more complex sentence by giving you a momentary pause in which to grab a quick breath of air so that you can keep going with a nice long sentence. Now, the first type of comma I would like to talk about is commas in a series. So you put commas between items in a series. Including in front of the conjunction. Boop. Including in front of a conjunction. This one is called the Oxford comma, and we will talk about that a little bit later. For right now, I would just like to address three specific types of items in a series that we are going to be talking about. So the first is subjects. We already know that a subject is a noun, person, place, thing, or idea, and it does the action of the verb if there is one. There isn't always an action. We have those occurrence verbs and also those to be verbs. So we can also say it is the topic of the sentence as well. Okay, so if we were to take three subjects and we wanted them all to do the same action, then we would use commas to separate them to indicate that they are separate things. So if we had a person named Anne and a person named Maria and a person named Taylor, we want to make sure that these are three separate people, or that they are one person, or they're two people. So I'm going to pretend that they're three people, and so I'm going to put a comma after my first subject, Anne, a comma after my second subject, Maria. I'm going to add a conjunction because I forgot to, but I am not going to put a comma here. If I put a comma there, it would give us a weird pause in between the subject and the verb, and it wouldn't make the sentence flow naturally. So there's no comma there. Anne, Maria, and Taylor eat a banana. Sorry, I was thinking if Anne Maria Taylor was one person, then she alone eats a banana. Another really good way to think about this is when you are inevitably writing about me and my sister, or something like that. Please remember that me is the object, not the subject. I is the subject. And so you have to say something like, my sister and I. Please don't forget. My sister and I like cake. But we are talking about commas in a series, so let's say my sister, my dog, and I all like cake. Do not feed your dog chocolate cake, though. I've heard it's not very good for them. But maybe don't feed your sister dog cake. Okay, so my sister, comma, my dog, comma, and I all like cake. This is so that we recognize that these are three separate entities, okay? We can do it without people as well. We can do it with other kinds of things, like inanimate objects. The pasta, salad, and bread were yummy. I only used yummy instead of like delicious or scrumptious because I ran out of room. And this is to indicate that all three of these things are yummy. The pasta, comma, the salad, comma, and the bread are all yummy. Excellent. Now, that's subjects. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The thing that does the action, or the thing that is the topic of the sentence. Because again, you are doing the action of liking the cake, but the pasta and the salad and the bread aren't doing an action of being yummy. That's weird. The next one we are going to look at is direct objects. A direct object receives the action of the verb. So bananas are getting eaten. The cake, I suppose, is being liked, but the bread is receiving the action of being yummy? No, not so much. So we do have to be a little careful with the direct object. Not everything that comes after a verb is a direct object. Only some things. So we're going to use commas to separate out series in a list of objects that are all receiving the action of the verb. So let's say the lizard ate, because why not? The lizard ate a berry. It was very good. A fly, comma, and a toad. Either it's a really big lizard or it's a really small toad. But the berry is being eaten, the fly is being eaten, and the toad is being eaten by the lizard. The lizard, therefore, is the subject because it's doing the action of the eating, and then to eat is the verb. Past tense, ate. Simple past tense. Let's do another example. What did he do? He danced the waltz, because the waltz is receiving the action of being danced, because it is a specific type of dance. So it would be saying the same as, like, he played Minecraft. Minecraft is the, like, title of the game, essentially. So he danced the waltz, comma, the cha-cha, and the, let's do another fun one. The merengue. Yeah, the merengue's fun. Has a lovely 6/6 rhythm. Excellent. He danced the waltz, the cha-cha, and the merengue. So the waltz, the cha-cha, and the merengue are all receiving the actions of being danced by him. He is our subject because he is doing the dancing. Let's do one last one on here. The artist painted your nose, comma, the sunrise, comma, and some limes, period. Again, please notice that we are making sure that we've got that comma before the conjunction. So we've got it here after fly but before and. We have it here after cha-cha but before and. We have it here after sunrise but before and. Because again, if we don't put it there, things could get a little confusing, and we want to make sure that we're being as clear as possible. Okay, so the last section we're going to do is objects of the preposition. This can be really hard sometimes because you might want to do, you can do prepositional phrases where you have 3 prepositional phrases attached by commas. And remember, when you have a prepositional phrase, usually, not always, but usually you can use it to fill in the blank in the sentence, I am blank the box. I'm in the box, I'm under the box, I'm over the box, blah, blah, blah. I'm without the box. So you could do something like the goat leapt over the chicken, comma, under the bridge, comma, and past the troll. That was under the bridge, obviously. But the troll wasn't sad because he was having another friend to tea and he was not lonely, so he was okay with it. Okay. We can also have multiple objects of the preposition. So this is one long prepositional phrase, and we have included 3 objects of the preposition. The goat leapt over the chicken. The goat leapt under the bridge. The goat leapt past the troll. These are all separate objects of the preposition for us. But we don't have to do it like, and they all get their own, they all get their own prepositions. Over the chicken, under the bridge, past the troll. But we do not have to do that. The goat could leap over all 3 of these things all at once. Let's change it up, though. The spaceship, plummeted into the atmosphere the Statue of Liberty and, comma, finally, comma, because we could take this out and we don't need it, so we're putting it inside these commas to show that we don't need it. We could take it out. And finally, the Atlantic Ocean. Fortunately, no one was hurt. It was spectacular, and everybody was fine. So all 3 of these things are the things the spacecraft is plummeting into. They are all sharing one singular preposition, but we have 3 objects of the preposition: into the atmosphere, into the Statue of Liberty, into, finally, the Atlantic Ocean, and all of these objects belong to this singular preposition up here. Okay? Singular prepositions. Let's do one more of each of those. So let's see. She made cookies with peanut butter. Allergens beware, comma, sprinkles, because again, if you left out the comma there, you would have peanut butter sprinkles, which I bet you is a totally real thing, so you gotta be careful. You had peanut butter and sprinkles, not peanut butter sprinkles. Peanut butter, sprinkles, comma, and banana chips. That doesn't sound great, but hey, it's what I've decided she's making her cookies with. So again, we have our prepositional phrase here with a singular preposition, but 3 objects of the prepositions. She made cookies with peanut butter. She made cookies with sprinkles. She made cookies with banana chips. She deeply, deeply regretted the banana chips. Okay. Let me see, what did he do? He planted flowers in the garden. Above the laundry room. I don't know. Comma. And beneath the couch. His mother was very upset, as was his father. His little brother thought it was cool. He planted flowers in the garden, above the laundry, and beneath the couch. So here we have 3 separate prepositional phrases: in the garden, above the laundry, and beneath the couch. All to tell us about where he planted those flowers. Now, if you want a little bit extra, we can always do indirect objects. Indirect objects receive direct objects. And it's best to stay with some particular verbs, because not every verb is good for this. A direct object. Okay, so for example, I sent a letter. So the letter is the direct object because it's being sent. Now the people who receive the letter are the indirect objects because they're getting that direct object, the letter. I sent the letter to April, May, and June. Their mother enjoyed naming them after months. They have a little brother named January. So I am the subject. Sent is my verb. A letter is the direct object because it's receiving the action of being sent. And then April, May, and June are all the indirect objects because they are receiving the letter. One more. We gave presents to our parents, comma, our friends, comma, and each other. Period. Okay. So we is the subject because we is doing the giving. Gave is our verb. To give, it is an action. Presents is the direct object because it is being given. And then our parents, our friends, and each other are all indirect objects because they are receiving the direct object, which is presents. And the word and is a conjunction because it is joining or conjunctioning two or more things together. So we don't have to have three separate sentences. We gave presents to our parents, period. We gave presents to our friends, period. We gave presents to each other, period. We can say we gave presents to our parents, our friends, and each other, period. Excellent. Thanks for joining me. Hope you're enjoying your commas. I know I am.